Hi Math Soldiers, welcome to another boot camp. In today's video, I'm going to talk about multiplication and division of fractions. Before I go ahead, I want to talk about fractions first. A fraction should be in the form of a over b, where a is the numerator and b is the denominator. A fraction should always be reduced to simplest form. Also, I want you guys to know that if you're multiplying or dividing mixed numbers, then you have to convert it into an improper fraction first and then multiply or divide. If you guys don't know how to reduce fractions, then you should go and watch our lesson 4, where we explain everything in details on how to reduce fractions. And if you guys don't know what mixed numbers are, then you should go and watch our lesson 3, where we explain everything about fractions and types of fractions. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about multiplications of fractions. How do we multiply fractions? To multiply fractions, you have to multiply across. Top times the top, which is numerator times the numerator, and bottom times the bottom, which is denominator times the denominator. And then, of course, reduce. So let's say I have A over B times C over D. That's going to be top times the top divided by bottom times the bottom. So A times C divided by B times D. So that's just AC over BD. Now let me do a problem. Problem 1. 2 over 7 times 21 over 5. So that's going to be 2 times 21. So 2 times 21 over 7 times 5. 7 times 5. 2 times 21 is 42. And 7 times 5 is 35. Now we're going to have to reduce this. What is a number that goes into 42 and 35 evenly? It's 7, right? So we can divide by 7 top and bottom. And 42 divided by 7 is 6. 35 divided by 7 is 5. So the answer is 6 over 5. In lesson 4, I showed another way on how to reduce fractions. Like let's say you didn't know a number that goes into 42 and 35 evenly. Like you didn't know that 7 goes into 42 and 35. There's another way on how to simplify fractions. So please go watch that video and you're going to know how to simplify fractions right away. But you know what? Let me go ahead and do that different method as well in this video. So 42 over 35. So in this case, you don't know a number that goes into 42 and 35. You can use this method. So what are two numbers that when you multiply each other, they give you 42? Is 7 times 6. So 7 times 6 is 42. And then two numbers that when you multiply them give you 35 is 7 times 5. So 7 divided by 7 is 1, so I'm going to cancel them. And you're left with 6 over 5. So whichever method you want to choose, they're both right. Now let me go ahead and do another problem. Problem 2. 3 over 5 times 5. Now in this case, you guys might be confused because you might say there's a fraction here, but there's no fraction over here. We only have a 5. I want you guys to know that you can make any number a fraction by making it over 1. Now I'm going to explain it to you guys. If I have 5 over 1, that's the same thing as 5 divided by 1, which is just 5. I'm making this 5 as a fraction by putting it over 1. So that way I can multiply top with the top and bottom with the bottom. I have 3 times 5 over 5 times 1. So that's going to be 3 times 5 is 15 over 5 times 1 is 5. Now what is the number that goes into 15 and 5? Evenly is 5. So I'm going to divide by 5 top and bottom. 15 divided by 5 is 3. over 5 divided by 5 is 1. So that's just 3 over 1, which is 3 divided by 1, which is just 3. I'm going to go ahead and do another problem. Problem 3. 5 1/3 times 2 1/4. Now in this case, I have two mixed numbers multiplying each other. In the beginning of this video, I mentioned that anytime you're multiplying mixed numbers, the first thing you have to do is convert them into improper fraction and then multiply them. So we're going to go ahead and convert them into improper fractions. If you guys don't know how to do that, please go watch our lesson 3. We have 5 1/3. Now to convert that into improper fraction, this 3 is going to stay the same. So I'm just rewriting this 3 over here. And now this 3 is multiplying the 5 and adding the 1. So I have 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16. 16 over 3. So what I did over here is I just made a fraction. I put the 3 over here. I just rewrote it because the denominator stays the same. And then this 3 here multiplies the 5, which is 15, and adds the 1, which is 16. So 5 1/3 is just 16 over 3. I have times 2 1/4. So 2 1/4. I'm going to make a fraction, rewrite the 4, and this 4 is multiplying the 2 here and adding the 1. So I have 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 1 is 9. 2 1/4 is just 9 over 4. So I have 9 over 4. Now I can just multiply these fractions. Top times the top, which is 16 times 9, and bottom times the bottom, which is 3 times 4. Now I have 16 times 9, which is 144, divided by 3 times 4, which is 12. Now I'm going to reduce this. So I'm going to divide by 12 top and bottom. 144 divided by 12 is just 12 over 12 divided by 12 is 1. So 12 over 1 is just 12 divided by 1, which is just 12. Now I'm going to go ahead and do another problem. Problem 4. So I have 3 over 2 times 4. So I have a mixed number here, and I have 4 over here. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make this 4 as a fraction by putting it over 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and convert this mixed number into an improper fraction. So I have 3 over 2. I'm going to make a fraction, rewrite the 2. Now this 2 is multiplying the 3 and adding the 3. So I have 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 3, 9. So it's 9 over 2. So I have here 9 over 2 times 4 over 1. Now I'm going to multiply these two fractions. Top times the top, 9 times 4, over bottom times the bottom, 2 times 1. 9 times 4 is 36, over 2 times 1 is 2. Now I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to divide by 2 top and bottom. 36 divided by 2 is 18. Over 2 divided by 2 is 1. 18 over 1 is just 18 divided by 1, which is just 18. So the answer is 18. So this is how we multiply fractions. Now I'm going to show you guys how we divide fractions. To divide fractions, I use the method keep, change, flip. What do I mean by keep, change, flip? If I have A over B divided by C over D. So how do I do this? So the first fraction, you keep it as it is. The division, you change it into a multiplication. And the third fraction, you flip it. So keep, change, flip. This fraction is going to be keep, which means A over B. Division, change it into multiplication, and flip the third fraction. So instead of C over D, we're going to do D over C. Now we end up with A over B times D over C, which is just multiplication of fractions. And we just learned how to multiply fractions. So we just multiply across, top with the top, which is A times D, over bottom with the bottom. So A times D is just AD over B times C is BC. So let me go ahead and do an example. Example 1, 2 over 3 divided by 5 over 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this fraction the same. I'm going to change the division into multiplication, and I'm going to flip this fraction. So keep 2 over 3 as it is, change division into multiplication, and flip 5 over 7, which is 7 over 5. Now I'm going to multiply 2 over 3 times 7 over 5. So it's going to be 2 times 7 over 3 times 5. 2 times 7 is 14 over 3 times 5 is 15. So can we reduce this? No, we can't. So the answer is 14 over 15. Now let me do another example. Example 2. 8 over 7 divided by 2. So keep, change, flip. Now 8 over 7, I'm going to keep it as it is. I'm going to change the division into multiplication, and I'm going to flip the 2. So what is 2? How can we write 2 as a fraction? We're just going to put it over 1. So now 2 over 1, I'm going to flip that, and that's going to be 1 over 2. Now I'm going to multiply 8 over 7 times 1 over 2 is going to be 8 times 1 over 7 times 2, which is 8 over 14. Now can I simplify this? Yeah. Let me simplify it by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So the answer is 4 over 7. I'm going to do another problem. Problem 3. 1 3/5 divided by 2 4/5. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, first you have to change the mixed number into an improper fraction and then divide. So let's do that. We have 1 3/5. The denominator is going to stay the same. Now this 5 is multiplying the 1 and adding the 3. So we have 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So 8 over 5 divided by, so we have 2 4/5. Again, the 5 stays the same. Now this 5 multiplies the 2 and adds the 4. So we have 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. So we have 8 over 5 divided by 14 over 5. So what we're going to do here now, we're going to keep, change, flip. So 8 over 5 stays as it is. We're going to change the division into multiplication, and we're going to flip 14 over 5, which is going to be 5 over 14. Now we have 8 times 5 over 5 times 14. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 14 is 70. Now we're going to reduce that. We're going to divide by 10, top and bottom. The answer is going to be 4 over 7. I'm going to do one more problem. Problem 4. 13, 3 over 4 divided by 11. So right away, I'm going to make this 11 over 1. I'm going to go ahead and change the mixed number into an improper fraction. So I have 55 over 4 divided by 11 over 1. I'm going to do keep, change, flip. I'm going to keep 55 over 4 as it is. Change the division into multiplication and flip 11 over 1, which is 1 over 11. And the answer is going to be 55 times 1 over 4 times 11. So 55 times 1 is 55 over 4 times 11 is 44. So the answer is 55 over 44, and we cannot reduce that because we can't find a number that goes into 55 and 44 evenly. Okay guys, so that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next boot camp. Don't forget to subscribe.